I would like to. It's my actually, it's my pleasure to welcome a real character in women's rugby league, a woman who played for Wakefield Panthers and was very active in women's rugby league for over 10 years and played for County, played for Yorkshire, but also went on the tour in 1998. I'd like to welcome Julie Burrows, but everybody who knows her as Pash. Welcome, Pash.
Thanks a lot, Julia. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm just so pleased that you've agreed to be interviewed. Tell us a bit how you got involved in rugby league, and I know you're from sort of the Wakefield area, but how did you get involved in it?
Yeah, I was always sporty when I was younger, and so when I was 16, I used to play hockey, and then I went from there and joined Wakefield Metro's handball club, which was phenomenal. That was amazing. I played with Sue Hayward and Brenda Dobeck. I mean, they were just phenomenal athletes in the day. Do you know what I mean? They represented Great Britain. So I think Sue captained it, and they went all over with handball, as we did as a club. Yeah, that was just amazing. You know, we trained really hard for that, and we were the top team in Great Britain for that. And we just went all over it because we were the top team. We qualified us to go in the European Cup, so we just went all over. We went behind the Iron Curtain when that were up. Poland, Iceland, Amsterdam, France, Germany. So yeah, so that really laid a massive platform with some amazing memories and some fantastic friendships from that. And that eventually followed, and then got an opportunity. I think Martin Ward were doing some taster sessions for rugby, and I think we all needed a new challenge, and that was sort of like reaching its peak because we'd sort of like done everything. Then so I went down to some taster sessions with Martin Ward, I think in 1990. So I played there when I started playing rugby when I was 25, so a bit older when I joined that. And then obviously, well, we had some amazing times there, and obviously playing for Wakefield, they were a phenomenal team, some fantastic players to play with, and full of internationals and whatever. I just loved it. I just loved playing. It was great.
And it's interesting, isn't it, that story of the handball and how that made up the Wakefield team, which just created some phenomenal athletes that were good at hand-eye coordination and athleticism, wasn't it, as well?
Oh, that's right. I mean, we got sort of like Brenda Doby, Sue Hayward, Shelley Land, myself, and obviously that was like core, and we played together for quite a number of years. So yeah, it was. We had a really good core, like you said, and used to teamwork, uh, and we just went on from there. It was just phenomenal. I just absolutely loved playing rugby and handball. But yeah, rugby was great. Well, I've had such good memories, such good friendships and memories, Julia.
Oh, absolutely. And Wakefield at the time you joined, as you say, they're, under the stewardships of Brenda when she started coaching them. I think it was something like 8 seasons. I think they were only beaten once in 8 seasons. And I
That's
remember playing from you one of Fulham women, but also Hull Vixens. And there was just no hope. Right? Well, Hull Vixen was as better, but Fulham women, where we used to just rock up north and just get stuffed and go home again.
Yeah, we used to have a good time afterwards, didn't we, Julia?
Yeah, we did.
To be honest, I mean, we trained really hard, and Brenda was brilliant. Trained, she pushed us. I mean, pre-season training, God, I can remember throwing up on sides. Not just me, but, what I mean? Obviously, as a forward, you think, oh, God, pre-season training. But yeah, I mean, we trained really hard. Brenda was like, pushed us all the way. And I think that's why we're so good. Do you know what I mean? Plus, we got, I mean, a wealth of talent. I mean, Brendan and Shelley, they just, sort of like, so Hayward, Joe Robb, Joe Will, do you know what I mean? Lucy Ferguson, we just had a wealth of internationals, and just fantastic. But it wasn't just that, Julie, it's the friendships. I mean, I'm still friends with them now, do you know what I mean? So we all meet up every now and again. So yeah, it's some great memories. And to be honest, Julia, when we played sort of like the likes of Red Hill and Dudley Hill and like yourselves, they were really competitive. I know obviously Wakefield won everything, but they were competitive on the field. And then obviously after we had a good time after. Do you know what I mean? We all got on, you know what I mean? There were no animosity, but yeah, it was competitive on the field, shall we say.
Absolutely, it was and wasn't. And we were just talking off camera, weren't we, about the weekends where we used to have a presentation weekend in Blackpool, and all the women's teams used to go down to Blackpool and celebrate in style.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That they were they were funny, weren't they? Do you know what I mean? They were
Yeah.
amazing weekends. Them obviously, everybody used to rock up on a Friday and just and then obviously I think presentation what next day. But yeah, God, I don't think we used to get in till 3 and 4 o'clock on a morning, did we? And yeah, they were good days. Yeah.
They were, and they have built friendships. Even me, obviously, I did play for a while, but obviously as a referee, I know all the women, and it's just lovely, and the men that actually, were inspired us as well, because there was some great men as well that supported the women's game. But it's lovely doing this project to catch up with all of those, because it is like friendships, isn't it? It's a community that grew up together.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we just recently, earlier on this year, Joe Robb's had her 50th, and we all rocked up to that. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it was just amazing. And we're still friends after that. And every now and again we do meet up, and it's just great when we do. It's just fantastic. You never lost that, do you? You know what I mean? You never lost that camaraderie and everything, do you? And it's just amazing.
Yeah, no. So good, great club rugby. Enjoyed, the social side, but also playing hard because, as you say, it was a hard fought competition. So, what was your pathway into getting into the Great Britain squad?
Well, I obviously played for Wakefield. I think so. In '96, I think they had trials and for the tour, and I didn't get in that one. Um, but obviously, we helped him fundraise. I mean, fundraising then. So we had like 1996, so I think well, Bren, Shelley, who else? I can't remember. Well, Bren and Shelley, I know for sure. And obviously, we had to, and obviously all the Great Britain squad, and we all sort of like mucked in, and we did raffles and all sorts. Obviously, like a few of us worked in factories then, and we used to try and do what we could for them in factory, do a sort of like card or, you know what I mean, things for them. And so we raised a lot of money for them, and they obviously did as well, so they could go and what an amazing achievement they did. You know what I mean? Beating Aussies. I don't think anybody expected them to do that, but yeah, fantastic, fantastic. So then, obviously, I continued playing, and then I think '98 they had trials again. But no, after '96 when they come out, we had trials again, and unfortunately, I got in the training squad for that, and then that was it. And then obviously, I got picked. But it was hard work. Do you know what I mean? We had sort of like to do a lot of training, and a lot of training, fitness training, and again raising money again. So yeah, packing bags and bucket collecting.
Because you played county as well, didn't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you know what? Until obviously recently, I'd asked me watching some of these interviews. Oh God, I forgot about that. So yeah, and we did. We actually played at Old Trafford.
Oh, were you
Um,
in the Old Trafford game?
what in the Old Trafford game? Yeah, I can remember. Right, obviously going back and that, and I can remember bus going in, and we got escorted by two police officers on horses. That's a bit of a memory. And then obviously we just played at half time. But yeah, that was a real good experience playing at Old Trafford, and there were 50,000 people there. So
Yeah,
like old first division at second division. So yeah, that was a good experience. But you forget, don't you? Do you know what I mean? 'Cause
yeah,
you don't think you don't think you've really achieved anything. You think, oh, I'll play for York. You just basically everybody got saying just got on with it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was a nice, nice memory to reflect back on.
Yeah, and it was amazing for the women's game that, the Rugby Football League actually placed the game in between, the Challenge Cup finals, albeit not a full game. It was, real recognition for that the women's game was developing, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it has developed a hell of a lot since we played, and it's going in the right direction. But yeah, I mean that was a start, wasn't it, Julie? And
Yeah,
that was really good, and obviously we had some finals at Batley and Dewsbury. They were really good. They
yeah,
supported us all. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, it was sort of like rolling on, wasn't it?
Yeah, those two clubs and Featherstone as well have always been
Oh,
brilliant, haven't they, for the
yeah,
community game and the women's game in particular,
yeah.
supporting it for games.
I think Featherstone, they're an amazing club. They just don't support the women. They support all local,
Yeah,
all amateurs and things. They're a really good club for that, Featherstone. And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, great memories. So you've done all this fundraising, you've done all this hard training. You get the call up. What did it feel like that you were going on tour?
Well, obviously, I think we trained. I was trained for about 18 months. I think we had sort of like fitness regime to go through, and which were quite hard. So obviously, when you were working, like obviously we were all working at that point, and then you had to sort of like train for like 2 hours after that on a night. I think we only got one day off with a chance that you might not go on tour. So, but that's what you signed up for. So, for the chance, I mean, who wouldn't try and take that chance with New Zealand? So yeah, I think we've got the letter come through, and I said, oh, yeah, obviously I don't know whether I'll be going or not. And then the letter come through, and it was like, oh wow, I think I was a bit stunned to start with. And then I actually looked at the date. It was like 10th of August. So like, oh, thank God for that. So we flew out the day after my first wedding anniversary. It's like, oh, I hope it wasn't 9th. So yeah, I phoned my family up, and they were absolutely ecstatic. They were the sole place. I think they threw me a party a few weeks after that. We at the local club, got some sandwiches organised for actually getting in. So yeah, it was great.
It's great, isn't it? And what's come through in all this is how communities were just so chuffed for the women and helped and supported them to go on tour and things.
Oh, absolutely. Crikey, I think we bled Cass dry. I think at one stage Cass said, "Don't ask for anything," because we so like some of us know some of the players and got the shirts, and we were raffling shirts off and like bucket collecting and bag packing just to raise the money. I mean, I think we had to raise £1,000 each for a lot of money then.
Yeah.
I was really very fortunate because my sister and her husband had a business. So when I phoned them to tell them, I think within an hour and a half, my brother-in-law phoned me back. He went, "I've got your money." He'd phoned all his
Oh,
contacts,
wow.
made him pay £100. So I got my £1,000, but obviously I still raised more and put it into pot for everybody else. So yeah, we're very very fortunate
Yeah.
to get my money. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So you're on the plane, you're going on tour. Tell us a bit more about it. What's your memories of the flight and getting there and
Oh, the flight was just like, God, never ending. Obviously, it is in New Zealand's a long way. You don't realise till you get there, and two flights. Like we were fortunate going because basically we got off one plane and we had a really short stay, and then we got straight onto another. But I think we landed in Singapore, and we it was really funny because obviously it was Singapore and the Chinese, and they I think the meal was called plimbab, and it was chicken or fish. So yeah, I think that got a few mileage when we come back. Few jokes about it when we come back. Yeah, so we got to New Zealand. Yeah, it was just an amazing experience. It was just phenomenal. I mean, I can't really remember a lot about the rugby, to be honest. I just remember all the funny bits. I didn't play in the test, unfortunately, so I was a little disappointed in that. But obviously, I was on the plane and we went, and it was a phenomenal experience. But I mean, the funny bits. I mean, God, I mean the kangaroo court. I mean, I think me and Becky Stevens were up on same thing. And previous to that, we'd been to this Marai, and that was an experience in itself. We were like so jet lagged. We were all dropping to sleep in this Marai. We were like, and they wanted us to stay at night, but I think they let us off and we were able to come home. But this guy, I can remember this guy was absolutely tattooed up. He had like a tear on his face, tattoo, and got Justice Sucks outside of his neck. And I always remember it. And then me and Becky went into kangaroo court, and I don't know what she'd done, but they took her makeup off, and it was like, oh my God, no. I'll pay the fine. Becky, I'll pay the fine. I'll pay the fine. And I think I got up because I were in because I'd got a lift back from a friend who used to play for us at for Wakefield, and she'd gone back home. She was a Kiwi, and she'd gone back home, so she come and picked us up in you. And so I was in Kangaroo Court, and so I thought, oh, nobody ever come out of there without being fined or whatever. So I sort of like got fined, and Becky paid her fine for a makeup bag back. And so a bit of a laugh. I wrote before I put Justice Sucks on my on my neck and put my t-shirt anyway. I tucked it down and went like that and got fined again for contempt of court. So but it was like so good memories, you know. We went to Rotorua, and we'd sort of like gone around this Maori village, and we had a little bit of spare time. So I think 5 of us decided to go up in helicopter and go around the Salt Lakes, round in Rotorua. So I think there were me, Suewa, Michelle, Yanchuk, Bren. I can't remember. I don't know if it was John or Will or whatever. Anyway, we get to this helicopter. So I've got to fill up. So I says, oh yeah. So he pulls onto sort of like airport and starts filling up. And they had sort of like buttons at the back where they could communicate. And I had a button at the front. So, you know, being a bit of a joker in my youth, I'd sort of like press this button at the front. I'm going, good day, me darlings. Are you all right in the back there? And anyway, the pilot gets in, goes into the tower. He went, I think one of your ladies has pressed the wrong button. So I'm going, so I'd said, good day, me darlings. Are you all right? And it had gone all over Sky Tower. All over the airport tower. So, yeah, that was pretty funny. We were just laughing his heads off. A bit like that, yeah. It was great. It was just fantastic experience.
And what was it like playing the Kiwis? I know you said you can't remember much, but what's your memories of actually playing them?
Well, I can actually remember playing at games because, oh God, it was like running to a brick wall. Obviously, I think everybody will tell you it's the same playing against Kiwis. I mean, Maori, first game playing with Maori women, I think I ended up with a shiner for about 2 weeks. I'm looking back on my photos and I've got a shiner. But yeah, I mean, there were big units and the test team that they were fit, and I don't think we were quite expecting that. But yeah, I mean, they were awesome. They were awesome. But you know, we'll give it a good shot. I mean, I think we won all the warm up games.
Yeah,
I remember playing in Canterbury, and that were really good. But then it were wet, and all the pitches were like really wet, and it were like running in treacle. And I can remember coming off that Canterbury game, and I was absolutely knackered, really. I think I showed you. I think somebody took a photo as I was coming off and walking off, and it showed you how tired we were. But yeah, great experience. But they put other things on for us, you know, like they put like tickets for a race night. You know, they had races there, you know, with sort of like traps and things. And I think a few of us went to that. So yeah, it wasn't just all rugby, and you know, it was a play as well. So yeah, it was a really good experience.
It was a good cultural experience, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, obviously when we went to that marae, and first thing, obviously the guy comes out and it's like, I think we were scared really, because they meet you halfway and they greet you, don't they? And it was like, I think none of us were expecting that, and I think I was a bit scared when it come across, because obviously we're in full gear and. But yeah, it was great. It was great to see their culture, you know.
Yeah.
And everywhere we went, we got like a full Maori welcome, you know, the pom poms and full gear. That was brilliant. Yeah.
And you had to learn a song, didn't you, so that you could sing back, because they always wanted you to perform back.
Yeah, well, so I think, I don't know, me and Sue H what official singers, we got them singing. Yeah, when we went to the marae, I think what it is, you sort of like their culture, you had to, they sort of like sang to you and you had to sing back to them, that otherwise they'd be offended. So we had to have I think it was Sloop John B, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was
John B, yeah. So yeah, because we learned handball, that's only why me and Sue know what words. I think everybody knew words by end it too, like.
Yeah, that was the song, wasn't it?
Yeah, I get knocked down and I get back up again. That was the other one. We got battered, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were awesome.
Yeah, and it was on telly in Canterbury, I seem to remember.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Canterbury was that was another experience. My husband's parents, they'd got some old neighbours that had actually emigrated over there, and they'd come on earlier in the year. So obviously, myself and my husband Paul, we went and had a couple of days with them, and obviously told them I might go, I might not. Obviously, subject to being picked. When we got to Canterbury, they turned up at airport. They were waiting for me at airport. I didn't know about it. They were waiting for the airport. We were like, oh wow. And I think Jackie gave me a day off, and I actually had a day off, and they took me all around Canterbury. So that was nice as well. So yeah, it was
Oh,
good.
how lovely. I was commentator on the television.
Well,
They'd
yeah,
asked me to commentate. Yeah, 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 yeah. And they didn't, I don't think they understood. I never got asked again because I don't think they could understand my accent.
I think at one point, I think myself, Roland, I don't know, we ended up in a TV studio. It was like a right little box room, and we were absolutely sweating cops because it was like just a little box room. And Roland were laughing when sort of like obviously when I come to the first exhibition and I was talking to Roland, he said, "Can you remember?" I says, "Yeah, I can actually." He says, "And we were sweating, weren't we?" And I don't think he were too thrilled about one at Kiwis. I think she was slagging us off, but anyway, we did we come out of it, and yeah, they did actually pummel us, but anyway, that's another.
It was. They were just so strong and fast, weren't they, and athletic.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So what do you think? What was the most challenging part of being involved?
I think obviously the fundraising and the fitness training. You know what I mean? Because you had your own personal fitness training. And as a foreign, obviously you always find fitness training hard, don't you? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Oh,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Did everything that they asked. You know, I mean the sprint training. Oh, as a forward, you don't really want to be doing sprint training, do you? But yeah, fitness training, I think, and the fundraising was really. I mean, obviously, I was fortunate enough, but the fundraising was just constant. So yeah, I think that were quite hard.
Mm. And what about the most positive about being involved?
Oh God, the friendships, Julie. You know what I mean? And the fun side of it. You know what I mean? I mean, when you're mixing with other teams and living with them for 4 weeks, whatever. But it's you just have so much fun. I mean, there's obviously ups and downs, and there are low points. I mean, I got robbed while I was over there. I couldn't believe it, Julie. Well, like, I thought they were acting about. My teammates were acting about. I think we've got a bit of spare time, and we've gone down to the local swimming baths. So I think we'd sort of let you punch your number in or whatever, put all your gear in. And then when I come back, I come out of the bar, so I just see me cousin. I'm saying, so my locker were empty. I'm like, come on now, stop messing about. I'm getting cold. And like, no, Pash, we haven't got your clothes. I says, no, come on. She went, no, we haven't. And I actually been robbed to all my money.
Wow, I'd forgotten about that.
And so I think Brendan Dovak and Shelley Land had to go back to had to go back to hotel and bring me some clothes back so I could get back. So yeah, so then obviously that was a bit of a. I mean, I can laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny at times because it took some.
Yeah.
I wasn't so bothered about the money, but they took some. I took some of my jewellery off, and yeah, they took that. So yeah, so that wasn't very positive experience, but yeah, I mean, I can laugh about it now, but it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd forgotten about that actually. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Lisa had a whip round, and that's what
Oh.
that's the team spirit that you had there. And she had a whip round, and everybody chucked some in. So yeah, I was
Yeah,
really
when you
grateful.
think about tours now, actually, they don't get to tour as long, do they? It seems to be, that
No,
it was a month that, wasn't it? The New Zealand.
yeah, it was. I mean, we went sort of like Auckland, down to Rotorua, then Christchurch, and then back to Auckland. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, what a phenomenal experience. And when you look back, when you reflect, it, it was just an awesome experience,
yeah,
really. Yeah, highs and lows. I mean, like some people obviously had had children at that time, and obviously that was, quite stressful for them to be away from the kids and everything. But yeah, great,
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
experience.
And I think you've touched on this anyway, but when you reflect on your achievements, what do you think when you begin to look back?
Oh, do you know what? It's just an amazing achievement. You don't at the time, and it's only until we sort of like started doing this that you reflect. You do look back and think, well, actually, we did achieve something, but you don't think of it at the time. You just get on with it like everybody did. Do you know what I mean? And
Mm.
but yeah, it's great. It's great to reflect and look back and have a cow with your mates about it and that. Who you played with, like Sue and Bren and Joe Will and Lucy and Joe Rob. Yeah, it's great. It's really good. But when I get grandkids, it'll be something for them to have a look at, won't it?
It will. It will. And do you know, it amazed me with because some of the women hadn't told the kids that they'd played internationally that I've been interviewing here, it just in the dim and distant past. And the fact that it's actually something to celebrate, play the level that you played rugby league, but also, your life in rugby league, because it was a big part of your life, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. It was a massive part in my life, and I mean, sort of like when we got married, we were going to start a family straight away, but obviously I got a chance to. I said, look, I've got one shot, so we delayed that, and fortunately I got in. So yeah, to
Yeah.
play for Great Britain. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's funny, Jolie, and I was obviously getting, as you reflect back, you get all your thing, and I've actually still got the kit uh, from when we played, and I got it out yesterday. I shouted at my son, I went, hey, come and have a look at this. He went, oh, God, look at that. So we were like, and that's the first time I've
Fantastic.
showed him that. So, yeah, I think he was quite thrilled yesterday. So,
Yeah, yeah. And actually, you're inspirational, to your kids and what you achieved. And I think we forget that sometimes, don't we?
yeah, we do, yeah.
Yeah. So talking of inspiration, I know you still go watch some games, don't you? And sort of still love rugby league. What would what do you think about women's rugby league now and the opportunities? And what would you say to the next generation of players coming through?
Oh, the world's an oyster now, isn't it, Julia? To when we played, I mean, they've got funding, they've got great facilities to play in. I think it's in Challenge Cup going to be played at Wembley this year,
Yeah,
next
how
year.
exciting is that?
I mean, that's a phenomenal of achievement, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
so any young girls now, just follow your dreams. You get a chance to do it, grab it with both hands and run with it. Honest, the opportunities they've got now, it's amazing, and it's going in the right direction. I think we need to get some more grassroots because obviously we need more teams that can compete against each other. Because I think at the moment we've only got three, and they've got all the best
Mm,
players, haven't they? So,
mm.
but it's definitely going in the right direction. Amazing. I mean, TV and whatever, and sort of like commentating and things.
Yeah,
Brilliant,
it is
brilliant.
great, isn't it? And I must say, I booked my Wembley tickets just because the women are there.
Yeah, well, find out. I think I was talking with Sue Hayward, and she said, "Oh, they're playing it well." I said, "Well, I didn't realise that. That's fantastic. Beats
Yeah.
Batley and Dewsbury Batley pitch."
It does a bit, doesn't it? It
Absolutely.
does.
Yeah. They were still special times, Julia. And
They were, and those clubs were good to the women's game, and
oh,
and continue to be so. To be honest,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. So
yeah,
yeah, so I think for us to compete against Aussies and Kiwis, I think eventually it's got to go professional
mm,
for us to actually compete with them. But
yeah,
it's getting there, and it'll obviously take time, won't it? So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
phenomenal facilities they've got today compared to what we did. But yeah,
Oh, absolutely. And it's lovely to see. And Julie, thank you. You've been an absolute star. I've loved your memories and the fun that you've had and the passion for the sport and all the friendships and communities that you've developed. Thank you for sharing them with us.
no worries. Thank you for having me, Julia.